Welcome to Sundust. Short horror stories, where the shadows linger just a little too long, and the ordinary hides something sinister beneath the surface. I'm your host, bringing you chilling tales submitted by listeners like you. Real encounters that remind us the veil between the living and the dead is thinner than we think, especially in the places we least expect. Tonight's story comes from an anonymous janitor who spent years cleaning up after the world, only to find that some messes from the past refuse to be swept away. Settle in, turn down the lights, and listen to Adventures in the Night. I've been a janitor for years, working for all sorts of companies across a lot of different sites. You'd think the scariest places would be old houses or abandoned asylums, but did you know some of the most haunted spots are actually everyday businesses? Go figure. You'd never suspect it. One place I worked was a bank. Right in the middle of town. I was there 3 days a week, and I already knew its dark history. Years ago, it had been an old funeral home. Back then, they did everything in the same building: storage, autopsies, preparation of the bodies. It never failed. Every time I was there around 10 p.m., they'd be knocking on the walls all around me. Soft at first and insistent, like someone or something was trying to get my attention from the other side. I kinda got used to it after a while, brushing it off as the building's settling. But then other things started happening. One night I was downstairs cleaning when I heard loud footsteps coming from the stairwell beside me. That stairwell had a great echo, so there was no mistaking it. Heavy boots thudding down the steps, getting closer. My heart pounded as I froze, mop in hand. Needless to say, I bolted for the elevator and took it straight back to the main floor. The last straw came one quiet evening. I was alone as always, with no TV or radio playing out of nowhere. A man's voice said hello, clear as day. Right behind me, I spun around. There was no one there, of course. Just me and the empty vaults. That really freaked me out. I packed up my things and never returned. That was the final thing I was willing to deal with there. The haunted First Bank, Philadelphia's ghostly financial temple. My next job was at a law office. I found out later that the building had once been an old hotel, then converted into apartments before becoming offices. I don't know if there were any deaths there, but with people living in it for so many years, it's a good possibility some never truly left. My strangest experience happened in the break room. I just walked in to empty the trash when there she stood. A full-bodied apparition of a young lady, maybe in her mid-20s, dressed in outdated clothes. Her pale face turned toward me, and both of her eyes locked directly onto mine, unblinking, like she was seeing straight through my soul. We stared at each other for what felt like an eternity, probably about 10 seconds, before she vanished into thin air. Right after, heard a faint echo of a voice whispering something I couldn't make out. It sent chills down my spine. I couldn't go back to work after that. I quit the next morning. Now I work days as a housekeeper in a large nursing home. It was once an old hospital, so naturally I'm still not free from the torment. This has to be the most haunted place I've ever worked, filled with ghosts and lore. They say an old man in a faded gown visits the rooms of residents about to pass away, a harbinger sitting quietly at the foot of their beds. Then there are the spirits of those who've already gone, shadowy figures wandering the halls or faint cries echoing from empty rooms. But the worst is an empty, abandoned floor we have to clean twice a month. It's sealed off most of the time, dusty and forgotten, with rumors of an old maintenance man who died there decades ago still haunting the halls, tools clanging in the dark, footsteps following you from room to room. When it's my turn, I just put on my headphones, blast the music, and get it cleaned as quick as possible, eyes on the floor. All in all, though, I think this is finally the job that will work out for me. There are about 75 people working here during the day, safety in numbers, right? But sometimes when I'm alone in a hallway, I can't help wondering, whose turn is it next to hear the knocks? And there you have it, folks, another reminder that the dead don't always rest where we bury them. They linger in the workplaces we visit every day, waiting for the night shift. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Sundust. Short horror stories. If you got a tale of your own that keeps you up at night, send it our way. we might feature it next. Until then, keep the lights on and watch for those shadows in the corners. Good night. Welcome to Sundust. Short horror stories. The podcast where we explore true listener-submitted tales of the uncanny, the terrifying, and the unexplained. These are real experiences that blur the line between medical science and ancient folklore, stories that make you question what's lurking in the shadows of your own mind. Tonight's chilling account comes from someone who's battled a nightmare far too real for far too long. He calls it. There's a demon on my back. For years I've suffered from what doctors diagnose as sleep apnea and sleep paralysis. Apnea means your breathing stops intermittently while you're asleep. Dangerous but explainable. Sleep paralysis is something else entirely. You're halfway awake, your mind flickering to consciousness, but your body remains locked in slumber. You can hear, see, and feel everything around you, yet you can't move a muscle or utter a sound. It's pure, suffocating terror. Old folk tales from cultures around the world blame this on a demon or hag sitting on your chest, pinning you down. And let me tell you, that's the absolute truth. Because I've seen mine. Many times. Every single episode he's there. He's a dark, shadowy creature, pitch black with glowing white eyes that pierce right through you. Razor-sharp white teeth glinting in a perpetual sneer and twisted black horns curling from his skull. He perches directly on my chest, his weight crushing the air from my lungs, whispering commands in a voice that echoes inside my head, telling me exactly what he wants done. But it doesn't end when the paralysis breaks. Even when I'm fully awake and going about my day, I feel him clinging to my back like a parasite, his claws digging in, ensuring I follow through on his bidding. It's no way to live, trapped in a constant shadow of dread and compulsion. I've hated every moment of it, this thing. I've named him Jack, has twisted my life into something unrecognizable, forcing me down paths I never would have taken on my own. The weight of what he's made me do haunts me more than any nightmare. That's my backstory. I hope it explains my actions. Over the course of about 10 years, I've taken 15 lives. Jack demanded it, whispering relentlessly until I killed them, dismembered the bodies, and scattered the pieces in hidden spots where no one would find them. I despise him for it. He's stolen everything from me, my freedom, my peace, my humanity. Eventually, the police caught up with me now. I'm confined to this mental asylum for the rest of my days. The doctors here are kind and knowledgeable. They've placed me in a soft-walled room for safety, and the heavy medications they prescribe have changed everything. The sleep apnea and paralysis episodes have stopped completely. No more midnight visits, no more crushing weight on my chest, and the best part, Jack has finally gone vanished with me locked away in here, unable to act on his whims anymore. I suppose he moved on to torment someone else. That brings us to the end of tonight's disturbing tale on Sundust. Short horror stories. Was Jack a manifestation of a troubled mind or something truly supernatural that preys on the vulnerable? Science explains sleep paralysis as a glitch in the brain, but what if the old stories are right? If you've experienced something similar or have your own true horror to share, submit it to us. We might read it next. Until then, sleep tight. And if you wake up unable to move, try not to look too closely at the shadows. Good night.
The trees hide the light. There lies a secret set enclaved in morbid delight. Ancient philosophy sets their code of belief, praying to the higher power for immortality. tales that disturb through the sands of time. Obey, kneel, invoke. Deep in the hills, shadows conceal the right, enclave forever in eternal night. Praying to powers beyond the veil for immortality, they shall prevail. Immortality is what they seek, invoking the gods, enlighten the mood through the sands of time. They seek immortality. Immortality. Seek, seek eternal moon.
Welcome to Sundust Short Horror Stories, where miracles sometimes cast the longest jail, comes straight from childhood, walks home from church. We call it the Healing Church. My mom took me to church a lot when I was little. We walked there and back, and on those quiet streets she'd tell me stories from her old revival days. Real miracles she swore she'd seen. An old man carried in with legs sunburned raw, barely able to stand. They prayed over him at the pulpit, and before the amen he was leaping and shouting, skin healed, pink and new. Another night, a couple wrecked right outside the building. The woman was cut deep by glass, blood everywhere. They brought her inside, laid hands on her, prayed hard, and she stood up whole, dancing and praising like nothing had happened. Mom told those stories with shining eyes, proof God still worked wonders. But one night, walking home under a full moon, she told a different story, one she never repeated, about a little church way out a dirt road. Folks came from everywhere, cancer, blindness, broken bodies. The preacher, a quiet woman, would lay hands and pray soft. Miracles every service, tumors gone. Deaf ears, open crutches piled by the door. Only the healed ones never left. They moved into the dorms behind the church, gave everything they had, and stayed pale, smiling, singing the same low note forever. Eyes empty, Mom said, like something had been taken out. The last time she went, they brought in a mute boy. The preacher touched his forehead, whispered a prayer, and he spoke clear. Thank you, Mama. Everyone wept. But Mom saw the preacher's hand come away wet, dark.
She left that night.
She left that night and never went back.
Some healing, she whispered.
Cost more than you know.
Years later, Mom got sick.
Slow, wasting away.
Wasting away. One night she woke me.
Eyes fever bright.
Take me to the Healing Church.
It's still there.
It waits.
I drove her down forgotten roads until a white building glowed in the dark. The door opened before we stopped. Inside, pews full of pale, perfect faces singing that same low note. The preacher, older now, smiled and beckoned. They laid Mom on the altar, hands on her forehead, prayer like dry leaves, color flooded back. She sat up laughing, dancing, completely healed. I cried from joy until I saw the preacher's hands wet dark. And something slid behind Mom's eyes. She turned to me, smiling too wide. "Stay with us, baby, there's room." I ran, drove till dawn. Mom never came home. The road's gone now, just trees. But when I'm hurting, I hear that low singing, patient, waiting.
That's tonight's son's short horror story. If it left a chill, please hit like, follow, and leave a review. It helps others find us in the dark.
Thanks for listening. Keep the faith. Carefully.